everyone, my name is Ajay and welcome to our channel. In today's video, we will try to understand the two objectives of building linear regression model and the basic data requirements while we build a linear regression model. Now in linear regression, we try to predict the value of a variable which is generally known as dependent variable with the help of an independent variable. In case we have just one independent variable, the regression is known as simple linear regression, and if we have more than one independent variable, it is known as multiple regression model. Now moving on to the objectives of building linear regression model. The first objective is to predict the relationship between independent and dependent variable. When we say that establishing or predicting the relationship should be significant enough. Now that we test why we build a linear regression model, whether the relationship is significant between a variable, a dependent variable and independent variable or not. Now the relationship can either be positive or negative. In case the relationship is positive, that is monotonously increasing, for example in the case of spending and income, in general spending goes up as income goes up, and regression could also have a negative relation. For example, as income goes up, the probability of default of a person goes down. Now the second objective of building a linear regression model is to predict the value of dependent variable where event has not happened. For example, while you book a cab through Uber or Ola, they give you a predictive rent or the charges they would charge you while you use their cab. How do they do that? Based on the historical data. Let's say in this case, the charges are in a dependent variable which we are predicting using a set of independent variables, like the distance you would cover, the traffic right now, the kind of cab you book, whether it's economic or you book some sedan you book. So the type of attributes can be termed as independent variables. Using this set of independent variables, you try to predict the value of dependent variable, which is the charges, while you book the cab. Now, when you build a linear regression model, there are certain restrictions on data type, both for dependent and independent variable. For dependent variable, it can only be continuous and numeric in nature, whereas independent variable can either be numeric or categorical. But if variable is categorical, the independent variable is categorical, we need to convert that categorical variable into numeric. For example, if one of the variable is gender, that male or female, then female can be coded as 0 and male can be coded as 1. In nutshell, you can say that while we build a regression model, the independent variables should also be numeric in nature. Now moving on to linear regression equation. Generally we know it as like y is equal to beta naught plus beta 1 into x1 plus beta 2 into x2 plus epsilon. Now y, which is a dependent variable, and rest of the equation consists of a combination of independent variables and intercept and the error while we predict a value of a dependent variable. Now the second part, which is on the right hand side, can be divided into two parts further. The first part is a linear component within the equation and the error term. Now linear component of linear equation indicates the percentage of variance of dependent variable being explained with the help of independent variable, whereas epsilon signifies the error term, the variance which not been explained with the help of independent variables. Now when we build our linear regression model, there are certain assumptions which are to be met before we build linear regression model. In this video, we will just briefly introduce you to the linear regression model's assumption, but we certainly would cover in detail why do we need those assumptions. Now, the first assumption is linearity, a linear relationship between dependent and independent variables. Second assumption of linear regression is homoscedasticity. The variance of residuals or error term should be equal for each and every possible value of error terms. Next assumption is independence. The residuals are independently distributed, that is, there is no correlation between consecutive residuals while we build linear regression model. Now, this assumption specifically being tested while we build data on time series. Now, next assumption is normality. That is, the error terms or residuals should be normally distributed for each value of independent variables. And the last assumption is multi-collinearity, that is, there is no relationship between independent variables. Now, in next video, we will try to cover in detail the assumptions of linear regression model, and while we build a linear regression model, there are certain tests to be done, like goodness of fit test to judge the accuracy of the model. We would cover these topics in the consecutive of the following videos. Thanks for watching, and please do like, share and comment. Thank you.